Today we're going to complete the blanket of cross-stitch hearts that I've been doing. This is part 3 of 3 and the last in our series, so I'm super excited to finish it. And so thanks for being here. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please make sure that you like it. Please watch it all the way through and subscribe. It really does help me and the channel, so I appreciate it. Thank you. What we're going to do is finish this blanket up in this video. We have the 5 panels, and what we're going to do is put an edging around each of the panels. I call it a border, but they're calling it an edging to differentiate between the border that goes around the whole blanket. So you can see I have them in order of the color of the hearts. So we have the orange edging, the yellow, then the blue, and this will be the green, and we'll work on that in a minute. So we have the orange, the yellow, the blue. We're gonna work on the green and then the purple. So we have all the hearts done. All the panels are made except for this last one where we're gonna do the edging on this one. I'm gonna show you how to do that. And then we're gonna put them together. We're gonna assemble them. And then we will do the border of the blanket. If you notice, I chose to do a different pattern with the 2nd and the 4th panels. I changed it to 1, 2, 3 ABC and Emma with the hearts. I changed it out because I thought, you know, the hearts on all of them is a bit much. Wanted to do something different. So if you're interested in learning or obtaining those patterns that I created to change this from all hearts to the 1, 2, 3 ABC and a name, I would be willing to give those to you. Just put in the comments below that you'd like to see them, and I will certainly show you them. Okay, so we're going to get started on this last panel to show you how to do the borders of the panel, and then we'll put all the panels together, and then we'll do the edging of the blanket. And that's all that we have left. To get started, here it says round 1 with right side facing, working around slip stitches on the last row, and in the spaces between the vertical bars, join color indicated. And in this case, it's going to be green, and you're going to do 1 in each of the colors. With a single crochet in the first space. Join with single crochet, that's shown on page 31. You're going to chain 1, skip next space, single crochet in the next space, chain 1, and skip the next space 8 times. Then you're going to single crochet in the next 2 spaces, chain 2, and then you're going to make a corner. And a corner is made from in the chain 2 space, and then working in the end rows, single crochet in the first row, chain 1, skip next row, single crochet in next row, chain 1 across to the last 3 rows, skip next row, single crochet in the last 2 rows, chain 2, which makes the corner, chain 2 space, and then you're working in the spaces between the vertical bars across and the beginning chains, single crochet in first space, and then repeat from the cross to the cross once. So then you're going to join with the slip stitch to the first single crochet and finish off. And we're going to make sure we're on the right side. We know we're on the right side because we have the stitches of the heart showing. So this is the right side. This is the wrong side. So we want the right side. We want to start in the first stitch of the last row. Let's I'm going to do a slip stitch to get our first on the hook started. And we're going to take that and we're going to go in the first stitch of the last row on the right side. I'm going to insert our hook. We're going to leave the tail to the right and our tension hand to the left. We're going to pull up, and that's a starting single crochet. So that's the first stitch. The instructions say join with indicated color, so we're using green today. We just did that. And single crochet in first space, we just did that. Then it says chain one. This is the starting cross. It has the cross on the pattern, and it says chain one and skip next space. So we are going to chain one. We are going to skip this space, which is the next space, and then we're going to crochet in the following space. So this is the one we're in now. We're going to skip this one, and we're going to chain in this. We're going to single crochet in this one. Okay. So now we have the beginning single crochet, we have the chain stitch, and then we have a single crochet. So we're going to chain one again and skip the next space. I'm going to skip this one. We're going to single crochet in the next one. And that's the pattern. We're going to do it a total of 8 times till we get to the corner. Skip this one, go into the next one, single crochet. Okay, so do that until you get to the corner, and then we'll start the next space. We've done a total of 8 times. So this is the first starting stitch, then we chained one, and then we single crocheted and chained one 8 times. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the instructions say we have done the chain one, skip next space, single crochet and next space, chain one 8 times. So we're at this point in the pattern. And then we're going to single crochet in the next 2 spaces. And then chain 2. So here we go. We are single crocheting in the next 2 spaces, so that's 1, and that's 2, and then we're going to chain 2. We single crocheted 1 here, we single crocheted another, and then we chain 2. So going back to the pattern, it says we just made a corner chain 2 space made. So with that single crochet in the next 2 spaces and the chain 2 that we did, that's a corner. Now it says working in the end rows, the end of rows, single crochet in first row, chain 1. And what they mean is we're essentially turning the piece, and now we're going to work on the sides of the piece, which were the ends of the rows when we did the Tunisian stitch for the panel. Okay, so We are working in the end of the rows, single crochet in the first row, chain 1. Okay, so we're going to single crochet in the first row. We're single crocheting in the first row and chaining 1. All right, and we're basically going to do that same pattern that we did here on the top all the way across, all the way down the side. Okay, so let's see what the pattern says. Pattern says, working in the end rows, single crochet in the first row, chain 1, we just did that. We're going to skip the next row and single crochet in the next row, chain 1, across to the last 3 rows. Okay, so we're gonna do that here. We're gonna skip this one and single crochet here. We're gonna chain 1, skip this next one, and single crochet in the next one. Skip, single crochet in the next one. Chain 1, skip, single crochet in the next one. Okay, so off camera, I'm going to go all the way to the bottom of the row, to the last 3 rows down here. And then we'll join you when we get to the end 3 rows. And we'll explain how to finish that. Okay, so we've worked to the last 3 rows. And it says skip next row, single crochet in last 2 rows and chain 2. So it basically wants us to make that corner again. And then that's the end of the cross. So from this cross to this cross, we're gonna work in the spaces like we did before and repeat it. But right now, we're gonna just get to this last 3 rows. So we are in the last 3 rows, 1, 2, 3. We've ended with our final single crochet chain 1 in the pattern. It says to skip the next stitch and single crochet in the last 2 rows. So that's what we'll do. And then it says to chain 2, right? So we skipped the 3rd one. We single crocheted in the 2nd, and we single crocheted in the 1st row. And now we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. And what we're going to do is we're going to flip the piece around. We're making that corner, and then it's going to continue on within the pattern that we're going to single crochet in the first, chain 1, and skip 1. So let's look at the pattern. So we did across to the last 3 rows, we skipped the next row, we single crocheted in the last 2 rows and chained 2. So we made that corner. And now it says working in the spaces between the vertical bars across beginning chain, single crochet in first space. So we're going to single crochet in that first space. And that actually completes that corner. Then it says, repeat from cross to cross. So essentially, we've done 2 sides. We've done the top and the side so far. We started here, we did this side. Now we did the long side. We're down at the bottom at the corner. So we're going to chain one, and we're going to skip one, and we're going to single crochet, chain one, skip one, single crochet, until we get to the last 2 stitches. First, okay, so we've done that first single crochet and chain one, and then we repeated that 8 times just like we did before. So here's that first stitch. Then we repeated that 8 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to make that corner. So we're going to single crochet 2 in the last 2 and chain 2. And then as we saw with the pattern before, now we're going down the long sides. And now we're going to repeat that cross to cross pattern like we did before. And we're going to chain in that first row, single crochet in that first row. We're going to chain one. We're going to skip a row, and then we're going to single crochet. And following the pattern, we're going to skip a row and go to the next, single crochet and chain one. We're going to do that all the way down to the end, to the last 3 rows, just like with the pattern that we did before. Okay, so just like before, we have 1, 2, 3 rows. So we've done our single crochet chain all the way down. We're going to skip the first one, and then we're going to go, or the third one from the bottom, the third row from the bottom, or in this case it's actually the top, and we're going to single crochet in that second row. Then we're going to single crochet in the last stitch and chain 2 to make that corner. Okay, so you see we're meeting up with the very first stitch we made to complete the first round 1 of the border. Taking a look at round 2. So by this time you would have done round 1 on all of your panels in the respective colors that we discussed. We're going on round 2 now. So this is the final round for the border of each of the panels. Again, it says with the right size facing, join white with a double crochet in last corner, chain 2 space made. Okay, so we're going to start with a typical chain on the hook, slip stitch. Okay, then it said to start in the round 2 corner of the last chain corner made, which was where we stopped and started on round 1. So here it is. We're going to wrap 1 around like we would with a double crochet. We're going to insert. We're going to grab a loop. We're going to yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops, and yarn over and draw through the second 2 loops. And that's joining with a double crochet. You see it kind of floats in the end. We're going to weave that in the back later, so that's how that will work. So we've done the starting double crochet. Now we're going to work 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in the same stitch. So we have the starting double crochet. We're going to double crochet 1. We're going to chain 2. And then we're going to double crochet 2. And you see we've basically made a corner in a corner. So we were here, double crochet, chain 2 in the same space. And now we have a star, which means that this is the beginning of a repeat pattern. So we're going to 2 double crochet in each chain 1 space across to the next corner. So we're in the corner here. Remember, we finished off here. So that's not a chain 1 space. This is the first chain 1 space. So we're going to double crochet in that first chain 1 space. And we're going to double crochet again. And the pattern says to do that all the way across to the next chain 2. We have the first 2 double crochets in the chain 1 space. We're going to do that all the way across. So we're going to go 1 double crochet, and 2 double crochet in the next chain 1 space. So do that all the way across. So here we are. We're at the end. We're in the last chain 1 space where we have put 2 double crochet, and now we're going to do a corner in the corner. If we look at the pattern, we did those 2 double crochets across to the next corner, chain 2 space, and then we're going to make a corner in there by doing 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets in that corner space. Double crochet 1, double crochet again, chain 2, go and double crochet 2 more, double crochet, so that's 1, and that's 2. So we've made that corner. Very nice. So here comes the pattern again, and we've just made this corner, and then it says repeat from star 2 more times. So we just finished the top row border. Now we're going to go down the side, and we're going to repeat that pattern 2 more times. So here is the chain 1 space that we're going to double crochet in. So we're basically just going to go down the side, the length of this panel, and do your 2 double crochets in each chain 1 space. This right here is not a chain. That is part of the single stitch for those who are new to crochet. The next chain 1 space is right here. So we're going to double crochet in there twice. We're going to keep going that way all the way down to the next corner, and then we're going to make a corner So crochet 2 double crochets in the chain spaces for the length of the panel till you get to the next corner, and we'll do the next corner together. So if you noticed, we have one corner made in the beginning. This is the second corner. So we're crocheting down the side of the panel, the length of the panel, until we get to the third corner. And then we'll work that one together. Every once in a while you want to stop and take a look back on your crochet. Make sure you're doing it right and haven't made any mistakes, so that you don't have to rip so much out when you find it later on, or if you find it later on. So I've come along very nicely doing 2 double crochets in each of my stitches, and went back, checked my work, and oops, I made a mistake. I only did one double crochet in the chain 1 instead of 2. So no worries, because I check my work often, which I would recommend. I'll just rip it out. When you pull stitches out and undo them, that's called ripping the stitches out. Ripping the stitch. So I'm just going to take it to that single double crochet that I did in the chain 1. I'm just going to fix it by adding another double crochet in. And I'm going to repeat that to this corner. And then you're going to 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochets in that corner. Then you're going to do the same pattern around with 2 double crochets in each chain 1 space till you get to the next corner, and then you're going to do those 2 double crochets, chain 2s, and 2 double crochets. Then you're going to go back up the other side of the pattern, the lengthways in pattern. Okay, we're at the third corner now. Remember, it's in chain 1 spaces, so we're going to skip these. We're going to do a corner. So this is the third corner. Do a double crochet, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets again. Okay, so we have now completed all the top row and all the length. So we have just completed the third corner. So we have in pattern the top done and this long side of the panel done. We're going to in pattern do 2 double crochets. We're now at the bottom of the panel. We're going to do the 2 double crochets across to the corner. We are in the fourth and final corner now. We've done the bottom. And we're going to double crochet twice, chain 2, and double crochet twice to make this last corner. Okay, so now we have the final length to finish. So we're going to do the pattern of the 2 double crochet in each chain 1 stitch all the way along the length, the last side of the pattern, and we'll end up here, and then we'll take it from there. Here we are at the end where we began, and we're simply going to do a slip stitch into that first double crochet to secure the last stitch to the first stitch, and then we're going to pull it through after you snipped the line, and that finishes it. Here we have the panels side by side in the order that they belong in. with the orange border, yellow, blue, green, and purple. The instructions tell you to put the start from the right to the left. So we're going to start from here. This is the right panel, working this way to assemble it. And we're going to do that by taking this purple one and laying it on top, right face to right face, and then working that together. For the assembly instructions, we just talked about laying them side by side and right to left. So the strips are assembled from right to left in the following border sequence: lavender, green, blue, yellow, and pink, which is the reverse that we were just talking about. And again, remember that I didn't do pink, I did orange. So now we're going to match long sides, which we have when we laid them out in order. Having bottom edges at the same end, and place right sides of lavender and green strips together. Working through the outside loops of both pieces and beginning at the bottom edge, join white with a single crochet in second chain from the first corner 2. Single crochet in each stitch across, ending in first chain of the next corner chain 2, and finish off. Okay, what does that look like? So we have our 2 panels. This is the bottom of it, of panel 1, and it's the purple, it's the last one. We put the right sides together, so that means this is the green panel. We're going to put the purple heart to the purple heart and the green heart to the green heart with both sides together. And this is the bottom. We know it's the bottom because the point of the heart is there. We got the right sides together of the purple and the green. And it says to join with a single crochet in the first stitch, which is this one here, after the chain 2 corner. So we're going to join white with this single crochet. So again, we're going to make that slip stitch. Get our hoop on the hook. And now it says working in the outer loops only. So let's take a look at what that means. We have the first 2 chain corners. So this is the first stitch we're going to work in. Normally you would go all the way through. You see how there's two strands on there? Well, we're just going to work on the outer. This is the inner and that's the outer. So we're just going to hook this outer one. And then on the other panel, you see there's 2. There's the chain, and then here's the first stitch, and it has 2 of them, an inner and an outer. The inners are facing each other. The outers are the ones that are on the outside of the panels. So now we have both outers on the hook. We're going to join with the single crochet. So we're going to grab, pull it through those 2 outer ones. It's sometimes a little difficult and tricky to get started. And then we're going to pull through for our single crochet join. So we want to keep in mind that we're grabbing the outer of the second stitch and we're grabbing the outer of the next stitch. And then we're pulling through and doing a single crochet. And we're going to do that all the way down to the end. We're just grabbing the outers of each stitch, pulling through and single crocheting. And then you'll get faster the more you do this. And that's how we're joining the panels together, okay? So I'll do a few more for an example, and then off camera you'll do it yourself until we get to the end, and then we'll finish off. I caught a thread. So outer. Oh, see how I caught both? So I'm going to back out, just get the outer. Just get the outer. Single crochet. Okay, you get the idea. Outer, outer. Loop it on your hook. Single crochet. Oh, something happened there. I got both, or two of something. There's my stitch. There's the inner. Let me grab the outer and not whatever else was there that I was grabbing. Okay. Do that all the way down for the length of the two panels, and then you will have your first two panels assembled. But first, we're going to show you how to finish it off. So we've done all the outer outers all the way to the last stitch. So we're going to take the outer outer of the last stitch, which is the last stitch before the chain 2. We're going to single crochet, loop through to clip and finish. And that's it. That's how you join two panels. Wanted to show you the back of this, what it looks like, particularly the joins, because we did the single crochet here. It gives this nice ridge. Now some people use that on the front as a decorative means, but it just depends on what you want for a look. So that's what your back should look like. So this is what it looks like. You'll notice, since we only did the outer stitches, it leaves this nice decorative edging on it. So now we have all 5 panels joined. So once you get those done, then we move on to the last final step, which is the border. I called it the border of the blanket. The pattern calls it the edging. And you can see here that it has a white, a blue, and a pink edging to it. There's 3 rounds to the edging. You can change those colors. I'm choosing to go with a green and a purple for my edging. Edging round 1 with right side of top edge facing, join white with double crochet in first corner, chain 2 space. Double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet, that makes the corner, in the same space. It has a cross where it's starting the pattern. Double crochet in the next 22 double crochets, and then double crochet in the next space, skip next joining, double crochet in space on the next strip, in the next 22 double crochets 4 times. So you're going along the edges of the strip. You're going to chain, you're going to 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, in the next corner, chain 2 space. And that is the end of the repeat with the cross. Then it says double crochet in each double crochet across to next corner. That's going to be along the long sides of the blanket. And in that corner chain 2 space, we're going to add 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets to make a corner. And then we're going to repeat from the cross to the cross all again. So let's get started with that. So we're starting with the double crochet in the right side facing. So it's going to be on the purple panel, top right of the blanket. And we're going to start in that chain 2 corner space. We're going to wrap it around. We're going to go into the space. We're going to wrap it around. We're going to go into the space, wrap around again, pull through, and pull through again for our double crochet. So that's our starter double crochet. Now we're going to make another double crochet and a chain 2 to make this corner. And this is how you're going to do all of your corners in this first round of the edging. So we're going to do another double crochet and a double crochet. And that makes the corner. Next, the pattern has us going across the short edge of the top, across this first panel. So it's going to do 22 double crochets across. Basically, it's just having you crochet in each of the double crochets of the previous row. I'm going to show you this one panel and how to cross the panels, and then off camera you can do yours and I will complete this one. Getting to the edge there, to where the join is. Okay, I'm going to take it off camera and get to the join. So we're close to the edge, or the edge of the first panel. And what we're going to do is continue with our double crochets. It's a bit of a challenge to do this while filming. I've heard other crochet artists say the same thing on YouTube. Okay, so in the pattern it says to do a double crochet in the space. So we're going to double crochet in this space, in the corner of this first panel. We are going to skip the join, so they're not having you do they're having you skip this join here, and then we're just going to double crochet in the next corner space of the panel. Okay, so we're going to double crochet in there, which kind of brings it together. And then you just keep on going with your double crochets until you reach the corner, and then you make a corner. And when we get there, we'll show that. Just keep going across the panels just like we discussed here. You want to skip the join and remember to double crochet in each of the corner spaces. In this pattern, the cross starts here with the double crochet in the first double crochet. So we started from the cross and we're working our way all the way over through the panels and the joins. So keep going with the 22 crochet and then, you know, double crocheting in the space, skip the join, double crochet in the space till you get to the corner. So taking a look where we are in the pattern, we have done the starter corner here. We started the cross and we did the 22 across on the first strip, and then we went on to the next strip and we did the next 22, and we did that 4 times across each of the top of the panels. Then we are now going to do the double crochet, chain 2, double crochet corner in the next corner, and that's going to stop our cross from there. So just making that corner in the top left of the blanket this time, our double crochet, double crochet, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. And there we have the corner made. Make sure when you go down the side of the panel, I think I made a mistake in the first video taping of this. I skipped this first stitch, but this first stitch here is actually the part of this double crochet. So make sure when you do your panels and you go across that you make sure you go in this first stitch. Now this is beyond the cross. Let's take a look at the pattern. So now we're starting here, double crochet in each double crochet to the next corner. So that's going to be along the left length of the blanket. And then you're going to make a corner in that one. And then you're going to repeat from here to here once more across the bottom edges. I'm not going to show all that on camera. You will be able to complete that just from what we did here so far. We already showed that. And of course, then it's going to take us to the end, to the corner again. We're going to make another corner. Here we are. We're at the very end of the right side of the blanket. And now we're going to join to that first joining double crochet that we made in the beginning. So we're just gonna do a slip stitch in there to join the 2, and then we're gonna finish it off. Of course, you're gonna have to tie all your ends in, but that's the end of row 1. Okay, 2 more. So we have row 2 and row 3. They call them rounds. Round 2 and round 3 to go. So here are the round 2 instructions. They actually are a bit more simple than round 1. So with the right side facing, join blue, I'm going to be using purple, with a single crochet in the first corner, chain 2, space. Chain 2, single crochet in same space. So let's look at what that looks like. So we're joining with the single crochet. chain 2, and single crochet. So we essentially made a single crochet corner in the top right of the blanket in the corner. Taking a look at the instructions again, we're starting this star piece, which is a repeat pattern, remember. We're going to chain 1, skip next double crochet, and single crochet in the next double crochet across to the next corner chain 2 space. Then we'll be making a corner, and then we will repeat this star 2 more times. Okay, so we're gonna start with a chain 1, skip next double crochet, and single crochet. So back at our corner, we're gonna do a chain 1, skip this next one, and remember this next one is the first one. So then we're gonna single crochet in the next one. We're gonna chain 1, we're gonna skip the next one, and single crochet in the next one. So it gives you this nice little, almost like a lattice looking stitch. Again, we're gonna chain 1, we're gonna skip that one and go in the next one. You're gonna do that all the way down to the bottom left corner, and then you're gonna make another one of these single crochet, 2 chains, single crochet corners. Okay, so we've now gone through the star to star 2 more times. You've chained 1 and skipped a double crochet all the way up the right side of the blanket, and now we're finishing off. Simply attach in the first single crochet from, this is the end, this is the beginning stitch. So we're gonna do a slip stitch into that first crochet and then finish off. And that's the end of round 2. Round 3, with right side facing, join pink. I'm working with green, so I'll be joining green with a double crochet in the first corner, chain 2 space. Double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the same space. So essentially the first directions are to join with a double crochet. So we have our slip stitch with our color that we want. We're going to yarn over, insert hook into that chain 2 space. So you want to make sure you get into that corner chain 2 space right there. And we're going to double crochet, and we're just making the corner like we did before with the 2 double crochets. So we're going to double crochet again, chain 2, and then we're going to do 2 more double crochets to make that double crochet corner. Okay, so continuing on with round 3, we are starting at the star here. We're going to 2 double crochet in each, chain 1 space across to the next corner. We're going to make a corner, and then we're gonna repeat that 2 more times. So basically you're going to simply double crochet in each chain 1 space across. You're gonna do a double crochet corner, which is the 2 double crochet, chain 2 double crochet in each of the corners. And then you're gonna repeat from star to star 2 more times. And then you're going to repeat that pattern on that right side up to finish with the 2 double crochet in each chain 1 space across, and then you're going to join with the slip stitch to finish off. So what does that look like? We're going to go into that first chain 1 space, which is right here, and we're going to do 2 double crochets. And that's basically the pattern all the way across, just 2 double crochets in each one of those chain 1 spaces that you did on the previous round 2. And that's all there is to round 3. So you continue to do that, and we'll finish off together, and then we will be done with our blanket. I wanted to point something out here. The pattern calls for double crocheting in each chain 1 space. But when you get to the corners, you have that single crochet right up next to the single crochet for the corner, and there isn't a chain 1 space. So make sure that you skip those and go right into the corner itself to make your corner. It might be a little confusing if you might get thrown off by that, so I just wanted to make sure that you understood that when you come into this corner, you want to make sure that you skip over those 2, because that is not a chain 1 space. All right, so we're at the end of our round 3. We're completing our blanket. We're going to slip stitch to attach the last stitch to the first stitch, and then we're going to finish off. That completes our blanket. Make sure that you tie in all the ends, weave them in so that it looks finished. And remember to hit the like button. Also to subscribe to my channel so that you can see future videos that we'll do. And this is the front of your now completed cross-stitch hearts blanket. It is a beautiful baby blanket. It's a lot of work. It's very gratifying to be able to give this as a gift. It's beautiful. And you can see the border that we just completed with the white and the purple and the green. And that concludes our series on cross-stitch hearts.